I was on Instagram, and for some reason my Instagram page, the For You page, is that what they call it on Instagram? On my page, I keep getting travel content creators. Yeah, and I love it because that's what I want to do anyway. So I've just come across this guy who booked a flight from New York City to Nairobi for a day. For one day, he was arriving in Nairobi at 10 a.m. in the morning, and he had a flight to go back to New York City at 11:45 p.m. That's close to midnight. And he just came to go on a safari to the national park to see animals and go back. And I'm like, why are you living my dream life? Why are you living my dream life? Because what do you mean you booked a flight for a day? I mean, I understand there are times you can, out of nowhere, get cheap flights. And without hesitation, just book. The same way when I first traveled outside, out of nowhere, there was a cheap flight to South Africa, and I'm like, yo, this is lasting for about like 2 hours. Yeah, the ticket price was lasting for a couple of hours before it expires. So this guy came, did whatever he was doing, went to the national park, went to eat with the locals, and then flew back home. I mean, there are people who are crazy, but that is out of this world. Like, I'd love to do that once in my life. Like, just wake up, go have lunch in Spain, or I don't know, Puerto Rico, Mexico, wherever, and come back. Would be crazy. But that's impossible unless you have a visa that's just sitting there. Because these white guys, they are just able to travel to Africa anyhow without having much requirements. For us to go to US, Canada, Australia, wherever you want to go, it takes a lot. You have to have, of course, your passport, yellow fever, that's fine. But the documentation, you have to give evidence that you're going to come back, I don't know, 3 months or 6 months, bank statement, a letter from your employer or school or wherever you at. It is a lot. It takes a lot. So it just got me thinking how hard it is for us Africans to travel to these European or American countries, but for them it's just so easy. Like 1, 2, 3, you decide you're sitting here today, you're scrolling through cheap flights, find a cheap flight, book it, you're on your way. And it's just so unfair that we have to provide all this documentation just to visit those other places. And then again, apart from them having it easy coming to Africa and do what they need to do, because definitely is it the customs or immigration, that place you pass at the airport, they won't ask you many questions as a white person. We all know that white people get priority when they come here, because even in restaurants like Java, when you go to Java, as a black person or even as a citizen, it will take time for you to get served. But if it's a white person, they serve you real quick. I don't know why we have that mentality as Africans to put other people first instead of putting ourselves first as Africans. But anyway, apart from that, it's also just expensive to travel within Africa, because even looking at flights, because I love just looking at flights as a hobby, flight prices, you find like a flight from Nairobi to Rwanda to Kigali would be more expensive than a flight from Nairobi to Dubai. You get? A flight from Nairobi to, I don't know, South Africa. Could even fit a ticket from Nairobi to somewhere in Europe, you know? It's really, I don't know why it's that expensive. I mean, we should be able to just travel freely. Like, I love how the travel in Europe is, and I pray to God that I get a Schengen visa, because I am gonna go to all those countries. Even if I'm getting a visa for one country in the Schengen area, I'd visit all those countries, because once you get that visa, you're able to move around these countries even just by train, you know. There's no border things you have to produce A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But here in Africa, apart from East Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, you know, the East African countries, you can move freely. But going to other countries, you need visa, and sometimes they can reject you. Like, it's crazy. At least for South Africa, they removed the visa thing. When I went there, they needed the visa, and it was like, was it like 4,500 or 5,000 Kenya shillings, about 50 USD. But at least now they don't have that. Yeah. So seeing this guy just being able to book a flight, and oh my goodness, I'm like, wow, like these whites, I feel that's why they're able to do the most. That's why they're able to like do these crazy travels, like travel with a bicycle, tricycle, I don't know, all these crazy things from Europe through Africa and back easily. But for us, it will be very difficult because of all the documentation you need for all these countries. It's crazy. And if you ask me, if I have the money, I would prefer to save up and do a couple of months or weeks traveling around Europe rather than traveling in Africa, because man, I'm gonna be a budget traveler, and traveling in Africa on a budget, that would mean I'll have to do like buses, because that's the means of transport we are able to do here. And having watched a lot of travel videos, ignore my daughter is playing down here. Having watched a lot of travel videos, you find that immigration using the land border is just crazy. These people disturb you, they want bribes and all of that. They can even just reject you until you pay them, or come up with their own rules at the border even after your own research online. I'm not ready to go through all that all that corruption and stuff, because there's no money to waste here, okay? So I'd prefer, like, you know, if it's Africa, fly to the place, then now do the sightseeing like a local person, using the local transportation and all of that. But traveling through land border, not for now. Not for now. Yeah, so I keep seeing these travel related users on my page, and I'm loving it. I just love to see people traveling. I've also seen another couple who have traveled to 97 countries. I think there are about 198 countries in the world, if I'm not wrong. So they've traveled to almost all countries, and I'm like, wow, you're also living my dream life. Yeah, you're living my dream life. It's amazing just having to be able to travel and experience all these places instead of just being stuck in one shell. So I'm happy for these people who are traveling. I love it. I love watching them, and I also cannot wait for my turn. And also when it's my turn, bless others as well who have the passion to travel, to just see a couple of places. So I saw that reel, and I just thought, let me share with you and share my thoughts on that. I wish and I hope that in future Africa will get to open, and as Africans will be able to travel around more freely like Europe, compared to how right now there is so much restrictions, unnecessary restrictions, I'd say. Yeah, so that is it. I shall see you in my next video. Yeah, bye bye.